Coming to paperback and e-readers, Isis Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new Isis series adventure. Pre-order your copy of Isis Dark Incubus at Amazon.com and other online booksellers everywhere. A couple of viewers who left comments on my video talking about my long-term unemployment wanted to suggest that I could go and call these companies after I put in an application. And I want to show you why that's not possible with many of these companies, and I'm going to show you this with not only Indeed, but with other companies I have put in jobs for over the last 15 years. Now, the first listing that I'm going to show you is this Indeed listing, and this Indeed listing is one of many that I would go out and put in information for jobs that I'm looking for. For example, with this job that they have right here, where they're talking about they want an administrative assistant. I mean, I'm looking at this listing, and again, it's this listing here, and we've got them talking about things that's related to their so-called qualifications, and the only way to be able to apply for this job is to apply for it online. Now, as I'm applying for it online, you have people who say, okay, you can go out and call the company. But if you look at this listing, there is no way for me to actually put in a phone call because there's no phone number listed here. Now, I'm going to go out here and put in the application for this job. And as I put in the application for this job, it gives me a listing, and again gives me a listing that will allow me to again apply for this job. And again, as you put in the listing, what you see is that there is no way to actually contact anyone with a phone number. And no way to contact anyone with a phone number because there's no phone number listed at all. Now, I'm going to head over to the Target website, and as I head over to the Target website, here we have listings for jobs. And again, if you look at the website, no listings with phone numbers at all for anybody to contact anyone. And I've contacted Target in applications for jobs for years, and I'm going to show you how this happens with their listings again. And again, with their listings all around, you got nothing here that shows any sort of phone number. So there's no way to actually call anyone about these jobs. So people are going to sit there and say, oh, you can go out here and go and make a call to someone, but you're not going to be able to get in touch with anyone at all. Now I'm going to head over to the Burlington website. And again, here is the Burlington website right here. And we are at the Burlington website where I've put in about 5 to 6 applications over the last couple of years. And as I put in the information, here we are looking at the website. Not one phone number listed anywhere, not one phone number at all, no. So how can you call someone for a job you cannot get in touch with anyone? I mean, when you're applying for jobs online, there really aren't any ways to contact anyone as related to calling to go and try to follow up on anything. And we're going to go to another website which I've applied for, United States Postal Service. And again, here we have another website where you can apply for the job. And as you apply for the job, again, you can look all throughout the website, not one phone number for anything to be listed. So you can go and put in the application in a one-way process, but you're not going to really be able to get any way to call somebody back. I mean, this is a job I've applied for, the mail handler assistant, and I'm going to show you how the process actually works here at the United States Postal Service. Now, this is one of the more complicated websites as related to looking for jobs, and it's complicated because you have to not only put in the state you're in, but you have to go all the way through this whole listing of different things as related to their whole system. And you'll get some listings overall, but the whole thing is you're not going to be able to get any sort of way in as related to contacting somebody with a phone number, again, you can go through their listings and there is no phone number listed at all as related to these kinds of jobs. So you can put in the applications, but again, there is no phone number for you to call at all as related to these sites. And a lot of people say, oh, you can just go call somebody. But again, if they don't put the phone number on the site, there is no way for you to contact anyone. And that is one of the more frustrating things about today's modern job market. Everything is online. Everything is one way. And the only way you can get any sort of response is if the employer wants to contact you. And if the employer wants to contact you, then you can get a response from them. Otherwise, you're just putting in the applications and hoping somebody will get back to you. That's the way it is with today's job market. It's been that way ever since the days that job hunting went online. And that's one of the things that makes it very frustrating, is that you can put in the jobs that you want to put in the search engine as related to the Indeed listings, but the whole thing is that you can put in the listings, but the whole thing is they may not come back to you. Again, we're going to go through this listing for this company over here, and as we go through this listing for this company, what we're going to see is them putting their job description in place, and as they put their job description in place, you get the listing here, but again, no phone number at all as related to this job. And again, put in the application for this job. And as I put in the listing, again, we're going to see that the number is up. And as the number is up, what we're going to do is go and put in this listing as related to things. We're going to put in the listing, but the whole thing is that the listing is, again, it's a one-way process, and this is what people really don't understand. They don't really understand that this is a one-way process. So this is one of the problems that you have with these listings. Again, no listing that presents you with a phone number to contact someone. Again, one-sided, and that's what people really don't understand about the job listings today. I mean, you can put in your application, but it's up to the employer to get back to you if they ever decide to get back to you. And again, you just sit there and wait, and then sometimes you just get ghosted. And that's what some folks don't understand about the job market here in New York. Now, others want to say that I should go out and move, but the whole thing is that I don't have that kind of money to move from one area to another, because when it comes to moving, you need to have thousands of dollars in order to move from one city to the next. And you need to have thousands of dollars because you need to have money for not only the first 2 months rent and security, you also need money for things like transportation, and you also need to have a full-time job lined up before you move anywhere. That's what people don't really understand about moving. You just can't move from one area to another unless you got a job lined up. Because if you don't have a job lined up to be able to cover your expenses, you're going to wind up losing more money. And if you don't have any money, then you're basically going to just wind up moving from one place to another and wind up completely homeless, because you need to have your ability to be able to find, one, a place that you can be able to get after you get your job. You need to get the first and last month's rent and the security deposit. And these days, first and last month's rent and security runs about $12,000 to $15,000. I mean, it's not like the days of the 1980s or the 1990s where you could come in with maybe about $2,000 and you could just get yourself an apartment. No, these days you need about $12,000 to $15,000. And you also need guarantors. You also need references. I mean, it's a major process now. It's not like the days of the 1980s or the 1990s where you just came into town, said, hey, I want a job. and people gave you a job, hey, I want to get a place, and you just got a place. That's not how it works today. I mean, these days, in addition to you making sure that you are able to get a job, you have to go out here and get your credit checked. You have to go through background checks. It's a whole process that it isn't today. So while some suggest I should just go and move, moving ain't as easy as it was 30 years ago. And it's not that easy because of people basically screwing stuff up as related to credit these days. That's the reason why everything is just a complete mess these days as related to the job market. So a lot of people don't understand how hard it is for this job market until you wind up out of a job. It's only when you wind up out of a job that you find out how hard the job market is and how it's just next to impossible to be able to get that call and to even get these interviews. I mean, it's a lot harder than it was in the 1990s when I first entered the job market, and it was hard back then, but it's 10 times harder because the internet basically has made it where people have become really detached and disconnected as related to each other and seeing the needs of others. And so it's really hard out here, and I wanted to show you firsthand by showing you many of the websites, because people say, oh, you can call the company. Well, you can't call a company if they don't put their phone number up or their information to contact you. So it's hard to get that call, and a lot of people need to understand this, because out here, guys like me are not being lazy. No, we're not being lazy at all. We're using the information and the tools that are in front of us. And I'm showing you firsthand, this is what I run into with sites like Indeed, sites like the U.S. Postal Service, sites like Burlington, and sites like Target, showing you exactly what I have to deal with these kind of sites. And when it comes to Target, this is one of the hardest sites to deal with, because in addition to the application, you got to deal with all of these personality tests. You got to deal with these personality tests that they put you through. So I'm showing what happens as related to a job search for me every day. And I'm trying to show you what happens with the job search, because you can put in thousands of these applications over a course of time and never hear anything and have no way to get any sort of recourse. So this is what I deal with every day when I go out and put in applications. And I heard somebody say that you could put in an application at Stop and Shop. Well, I did put in multiple applications at Stop and Shop, but the Stop and Shop in my neighborhood on Eastchester Road wound up closing. And I showed a whole video of that Eastchester Road Stop and Shop closing. And again, this is how hard it is out here. They'll try to tell you, like guys like Joe Biden will tell you that there's plenty of jobs, but I'm here to show you that there aren't as many jobs as out here, and they're next to impossible to get due to the just really in some cases, dysfunctional and overcomplicated whole application process that is presented as related to this whole just dysfunctional online job market. Now, if you want to pick up some of my positive black fiction on the SJS Direct imprint, you can find many of those books in the ISIS series, the Steam series, the John Haynes series, the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, and my vampire novel Eternal Night, and many other books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find those books at other online booksellers like Draft2Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, and this company, Target. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, All About Nikki, a fabulous first season. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air meets Clueless in this absolutely fabulous African-American 1990s teen sitcom. Get all 13 episodes of All About Nikki, the fabulous first season, in paperback and e-readers today. Now available in paperback. From the author of the critically acclaimed book, The Man Crisis, comes The Woman Crisis. Learn why so many women have become lost in their quest to have it all in The Woman Crisis. Get your copy of The Woman Crisis in paperback at Amazon.com and online booksellers today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.